Hi everyone, this is Galib Kamal and you're watching me on my YouTube channel. Today I saw this video from Ali Dawa. Ali Dawa is a very famous YouTube Islamic preacher and he's an Islamic apologist who defends Islam or who preaches Islam, who thinks that Islam should be the de facto religion of everyone in the world because it is the best ideology. So I saw his video. This video was titled "This is why women are degraded." Billboard reaction. So he was reacting to a billboard. Basically, there was this billboard on which some provocative image of a woman was shown, and this image was in regards to an advertisement by a company that was buying scrap metal. So he was saying that this billboard and this ad, which is showing provocative image of a woman, is dehumanizing a woman, and this is just treating women like scrap metal. So I am going to react to his video, but I am not going to show it. So I'm going to quote him here. So and I quote, "In today's time, brothers and sisters, women have become so sexualized," and then blah blah blah. End quote. So what he says that women have become sexualized because they are being displayed on billboards, or they are working in movies and they are being shown everywhere. They are not observing hijab. So this he thinks is indecent, and women have been sexualized. But it's not a very old news. It's still new that Muslim men in UK were running grooming gangs which were exploiting young girls and were using them as sex slaves. So many such Muslim men, maybe tens of them, maybe around many grooming gangs have been, which were comprised of 20, 30 Muslim men who were peddling girls. Like one was having sex with her and using her and abusing her, and then he was transferring her to someone new, and then it was going on, and this thing was not just stopping. And these all of these people were predominantly Muslim. So if he thinks that only this billboard is objectifying women or sexualizing women, what about those Muslim men? And it is not only that it is happening today, it also happened in the past. It happened at the time of the Prophet as well. So now we move. I'm going to go forward, and I quote again: "If we treat women like this, how do you expect men to value and dehumanize them?" So he's saying if women are appearing on billboards in provocative clothing, so this is making them dehumanized, and how are men going to respect them? But the problem is, like, Islam, even its book Quran, accepts slavery and accepts that Muslim men can have sex with their slave girls. So what is a slave girl? Can this woman who was on that billboard be considered a slave girl, or can it be thought that she is worse than a slave girl? No. Slave girls were much worse. They were captured through wars. Whenever Muslims attacked a place, they surrounded that place. There was a siege, and when they captured the men and women, they sold them as slaves. Many of the men were killed, especially in the case of Banu Qurayza. All of the men were killed. So Banu Qurayza which was comprised of Jews. Like these Jews had, forts in Medina, the town where Prophet Muhammad immigrated to. So these Jews had some problem with Muhammad. Muhammad attacked them. He sieged them for 25 days, and in the end, they just laid down their weapons. And when they laid down their weapons, Muhammad ordered all the men to be killed, and women and children were sold as slaves. And it happened with other places as well. Tabuk, it happened with Tabuk as well. And if we read Islamic history, Hadith, and Quran, it happened everywhere. Wherever they went in the time of Muhammad, they always had sexual slaves. Women were made into slave women, and they were used as sex objects. So, one of the very compelling reasons to go on jihad was also getting some slave girls and fulfilling your sexual desires. So, in this way, even Muhammad got many beautiful women in this way. Maria al-Qibtiyya was one of his slaves. Safiya was another one. There were other slave girls as well. In spite of Muhammad having 9 wives at a time, he also had other slave girls as well, which he used and which were, sexualized to a large extent as well. So then Ali Dawah says Nazi Germany, Hitler asked people to execute Jews. They could not do that. Then he dehumanized the Jews to such a level with propaganda banners and whatever it may be. So he's saying that he dehumanized the Jews using propaganda banners and all of that. But what I'm telling you about Tabuk and about Banu Qurayza, there were at least 7 Jewish tribes in Medina. All of them were exiled, but in the end, the tribe of Banu Qurayza was not exiled. Rather, all the men were killed and women were made into slaves and sold as slaves. Children were also sold as slaves. So Muhammad goes to the level of Hitler. Prophet Muhammad goes to the level of Hitler, and he, in some ways, it could be even worse. So I can say that Hitler was acting upon the Sunnah of the Prophet as he was dealing with Jews in such a way that he dehumanized them at first, because Muhammad was repeatedly trying to, kill and enslave the Jewish tribes that lived in Medina. But all the time, the people of Medina were always reluctant to support Muhammad in dealing with the Jews in such a terrible way. So in the end, the last tribe of Medina, Banu Qurayza, he succeeded in killing them. He succeeded in making the women and children into slaves. So then Muhammad's slave women, were much worse than lady that was on that billboard, because at least this lady was doing this by her own accord, but the slave girls did not had any matter of say that what is going to happen with their life, who is going to have sex with them, who is going to rape them, because they had no consent, they had no respect, they were totally human sex objects that were used by Muhammad and his companions. Ali Dawah then says that nowadays women are getting plastic surgery, they are getting lip implants, they are getting breast implants, they are getting hip implants, and I quote, only thing a woman has to offer is her sexuality. And then he goes on, I quote, pornography industry has dehumanized women to such a level, end quote. He says that pornographic industry, the advertisement industry, they have dehumanized women and they have made women into sexual objects, but he doesn't remember that Muhammad also provided a guide how to buy slave girls. Umar used to check slave girls' breasts and their thighs. So according to Sunan al-Kubra, volume 5, page 329, we have a hadith that is about the second caliph, Umar. So it is narrated that whenever Ibn Umar wanted to buy a slave girl, he would inspect her by analyzing her legs and placing his thighs between her breasts and on her buttocks. So it was the son of Umar who was doing it, because his father used to do the same before. There is this hadith in Sunan al-Kubra where it is said the slave girls of Umar were serving us with uncovered hair and their breasts were shaking. So do you think that these women who were serving the companions of the Prophet and they belonged to Umar were not being objectified or over sexualized? So pornography is not a good thing, but if we compare it to Islamic slavery, it is better than Islamic slavery, because whatever those women are doing, they are doing it according to their own will and they're getting paid for it. But Prophet Muhammad and his Sahaba raped the enslaved woman, and it was happening all the time. And according to a hadith in Sahih al-Bukhari, this hadith says Allah's apostle for the Ghazwa of Bani Mustalik, and we received captives from among the Arab captives, and we desired women, and celibacy became hard on us, and we loved to do coitus interruptus. Like they were not ejaculating inside the woman, they were stopping before that and they were ejaculating on the outside. They did not wanted to impregnate those slave women. So when we intended to do coitus interruptus, we said, how can we do coitus interruptus before asking Allah's apostle who is present among us? We asked him about it and he said, it is better for you not to do so, for if any soul till the day of resurrection is predestined to exist, it will exist. So he stopped them from performing coitus interruptus. So what they do here is, what this hadith proves is there are so many other hadiths like that where Muhammad allowed people to have sex with slave girls. So this kind of sex with slave girls is basically rape, and Muhammad himself also did that on so many occasions. Ali did that, Umar did that, Usman had slave girls, Abu Bakr had slave girls, Muhammad himself had slave girls. So all the Sahaba, the companions of the Prophet at that time, had slave girls, and those slave girls were in a much worse condition than this billboard girl. How can Ali Dawa forget his own Islamic history and be such a hypocrite to criticize this billboard? And he never criticizes what Muhammad was doing, what his companions were doing, and what was happening all along in Islamic history. Even, the last country to end slavery was an Islamic country, and this did not happen in the 18th or 19th or 20th century. It happened in the 21st century. There were countries in the world who were still practicing slavery, and those countries were Islamic countries. Then he says, and I quote, if a woman is even naked, I have to lower my gaze. End quote. If this was the rule, then Muslims would not have raped slave girls. So they were doing it, and they thought that it was right to do so. And he also says, and I quote, I don't shake hands with women. So that shaking hand of a woman is going to be provocative to me, and I'm going to have some sexual interest in her. That is not the problem, because what was he doing? He was checking the slave girls. He was checking their breasts, he was checking their thighs, he was touching their bodies. And what he did was, then he bought those slaves. So if he thinks that the West has sexualized women and men are seeing women as sexual objects, so the Islamic world is not any different. I am from Pakistan, and I know that in Pakistan the level of sexual harassment and the number of rapes and all of that is much higher than what is happening in the Western world. Women have no rights there, and even filing a rape case is such a difficult thing to do that women don't even file that. Ali Dawah moves on, and I quote, women are starving for a certain body image. What do you think? Were the slave girls starved, or were they selling themselves for just a scrap of bread? They did not have any option to say no there, or they had no option. When someone does not have an option in having sex, then that sex is just rape. And Muslims were doing that. Prophet Muhammad himself was doing that. His Sahaba were doing that. Everyone was doing that. Then he moves on and he says, and I quote, let me test drive before I buy. So Muhammad and his followers were literally doing that when they were buying slave girls, because they were checking their breasts, they were touching their thighs. They were, according to many imams, it is okay for a man when he goes to buy a slave girl to see every part of her body except her vaginal opening. Everything else he can watch and he can touch. Many frustrated men were going to the other Islamic slave markets for this test drive, and they were checking these slave girls all the time. So then he goes on and he says, there can't be forced marriages, end quote. So did the slave girls had this option that they could say no to sex? Because there was no marriage for them. There was no marriage for them. It was not a wedding. It was just buying a slave girl and having your way with her. You can rape her any way you want. You can sell her later on. Whatever you want, you can do with her. She's just like a sheep or a goat or maybe a she-camel. I don't know. So Allah and Muhammad did the same. They sexualized women in this world and the next world as well. Because Muslims are offered hoods in the next world, and those virgins in paradise, they have no other purpose. Their only purpose is to provide sexual services to the believers. That's all. There is nothing else. There's nothing else. I challenge you, no Muslim will be ever able to tell you that what other purpose does the virgins in paradise serve. Islam has continued to do that. Islam has objectified women, it has sexualized women, it has used women, it has bought and sold women as slave girls. They have raped women, and even their Prophet has done it. It's not only the Sahaba who have done it, because Prophet Muhammad also had slave girls. You can Google it and you can check how many slave girls he had, which slave girl came from where, in which war they were captured, and what was her history, which tribe she belonged to, was she a Christian or a Jew or maybe an Arab pagan. It's all written in their books. So Ali Dawa would always turn a blind eye towards this, and he would be very quick to to show it to the Western heathens that Islam respects. Islam is very feminist. Islam respects women. Hijab is for respect of women. But if you look at those hadiths which tell you the story of Umar's slave girls, you would see that they were almost naked when they were in front of the other Sahabas. It was not his wives whose breasts were touching each other and their hair were open. The wives were observing hijab and all of that, but the slave girls were being sexualized. They were just objects. They were there for display. They were there to show that Umar was a wealthy, respectable man. He had means to get hands on slave girls who he was displaying to the other people, maybe as war trophies or something like that. So hijab was always there for free women, and now and slave girls were being objectified. They were being dehumanized. All the horrible atrocities were happening to them. They, even I can assure you that they were much worse than the porn stars of today or the models of today about whom Ali Dawa is complaining. They were far worse than all of these women who are doing this according to their own accord. I'm not supporting this. I don't support pornography or objectification of women, but I just want to show to Ali Dawa that he should not be hypocrite, and he should come forward and also make a video about what Muhammad was doing to his slave girls, how Umar was using women as slaves, and they were his sexual objects, how his son was doing the same, and how all the other Sahaba were doing the same. I would encourage Ali Dawa to make a response to this video, or maybe tell us like the history of sexual objectification of women in Islam. So, bye bye for now. See you again very soon.